This story was sent to me concerning the tragic death of Kyren Lacy. So I wanted to focus on this because this story again was sent to me. I am not familiar with the case, so I'm going to kind of do this as a fly by night, fly by the seat of my pants, read through the information, and try to make the best out of this. Hello, my name is Dr. L, and welcome to the breakdown, where we are going to discuss this particular case. Again, this was sent to me, so I'm not familiar with it, but it's my understanding that a former LSU star wide receiver was on his way up, possibly going to the league, to the NFL, and had his career cut short due to a tragic car accident down in the Louisiana area. And then as a result of that, faced some more seeming trouble with the law, and then took off, ran from police, and then took his own life while he was trying to evade police capture. So we're going to review this. And so this was an Instagram that was sent to me. It comes from TikTok. I'm going to play it, but I'm going to slow it down so everyone can see it. And they have music playing in the background, so I'm going to read it. So here we go. Right. So this is a person speaking at the bottom here. And this, the person at the top, I guess number 2, is Kyren Lacy. And this says, "I'm Kyren Lacy's," we're going to play it here, "girlfriend. And I'm so sad that he left this world before he could start his amazing life in the NFL. He was gentle and goofy at home, fierce and fearless on the field. He kept promises, especially the small ones. Though that's what we dreamed of in simple colors. We dreamed of simple colors, draft day suit, our first apartment, his jersey hanging by the door. He was right there, ready to step into the NFL and start the life he had earned yard by yard. But a lie swallowed him. People who should have told the twisted truth online, they called him a monster offline. He carried that weight so the rest of us wouldn't we deal with it every night. He believed God knew the real story, even while the world refused to see it. He told me, 'Baby, I'll be okay. God's got me.' I wish I could have kept him here long enough for the truth to set him free. My regret is endless hug I didn't hold long enough, the voicemail I didn't save, the future we didn't get, but my love is louder." Kyren Lacy was kindness in motion. Remember him that way, and let the truth at last find its light. And that's what she says on TikTok. So it's my understanding that this brother had really got swallowed up in this particular narrative concerning what happened to him, and therefore took his life. So let's read through the next one here. Kyren's lawyer broke down, describes social media posts, media system that finished him. Let me see if I can play this. It might not have any sound to it here. Let's see.
He was suffering. There was a point in time that night at his apartment. The apartment that he, his little brother, and his cousin were in. His mind was made. He wanted the keys to that vehicle to, I don't know how to say this, to
take his life.
Yeah. So it's either you give me my keys and I do this on my own accord, or this is going to go down right here, right now. Obviously, the keys were given. A welfare call was made. Keyword, welfare check, right? There was no crime. There's none of that, man. No drugs, none of that BS. Kid's mind was made. You know the rest of the story.
Wasn't there a shot fired or something?
That's how he got his keys. I think that's how you're showing him. And by the way, the shot was fired in the ground on purpose to let them know the seriousness of what was going on in his head.
So he wanted to
say this.
So he's shooting at the ground to try to get the keys to his apartment?
Despite Lacy's death in April, Ori hasn't stopped trying to exonerate him from allegations he caused a fatal crash in Thibodaux that took the life of 78-year-old Herman Hall.
was a great man with a loving family.
State police charged the wide receiver with negligent homicide after they say his actions of illegally passing cars caused another car to fatally impact Hall's car as they swerved to avoid Lacy.
I've got everything. I've got every piece of evidence I have viewed. I've examined every piece of evidence.
Ori appeared on a segment on HTV with host Martin Foles to discuss what he found in the Lafourche Parish District Attorney's investigation as compared to the original state police investigation. The conclusion of the DA's report was that Lacy was not responsible for the wreck. Ori also shows surveillance video of the crash.
In the top left of the screen, you're going to see multiple cars just making their way south to Thibodaux, coming from Vacherie. At some point in time, you're going to see the collision, which we're going to know is vehicle number 2 from oncoming traffic colliding with the vehicle of Mr. Hall. You will see another vehicle come to a stop, and then you'll see Kyren Lacy come to a stop.
The video provides key insight that was previously withheld, according to Ori.
At the time of impact, he's 72.6 yards behind the vehicles at the time of impact. Keyword, behind the vehicles. That is not how this story was.
Despite Lacy's death in April.
Make sure you add in there that you had to slam on your brakes, and the brakes, like, you know, you had to slam on the brakes to avoid that charger, and the brakes locked up to avoid that charger. That's,
in her words, I see the charger approaching. Well, my question to you now, how did you see that vehicle approaching? Yet your data says you never killed him. Killed him. All those tough guys behind the computer, same ones that are come after me when I do this interview. Those guys.
It's not written by him. I got to stop it because of music. And where it says he signed, it's not signed. So that's where it refused. It says refused, where he's supposed to sign the statement that the police officer was obviously taking, which we could see via the body cam.
It's happening.
Yeah, they got all this music playing here. Let me see the next one here.
Lacy's mother, and I will not accept any belated apologies. My beloved son left me 5 months ago, and you can't imagine, at the very end of his life, he still thought everyone hated him. It was an accident that had absolutely nothing to do with him, yet it not only brought him worldwide ridicule, but also destroyed his career and ultimately took his life, all because one man lied to him. Everyone blamed him without knowing that Kyren's car was farther from the crash site than his longest catch distance in college. How could he possibly have caused that accident? If not for that accident, he would still be alive today, playing in the league. The truth has finally come out. But so what? My child will never come back. He left this world full of pain, while those who so easily accused him now want to erase it all with a single word. Do you know? In his final days, he kept asking me, "Mom, why doesn't anyone believe me?" That kind of despair still echoes in my dreams to this day. At Kyren's funeral, holding myself together with what little strength I had left, I sang one last song for him, "I Will Always Love You," hoping my dear son could finally rest in peace.
We are now finding out that Lacy never caused that car crash, and he was framed by the police. He passed away for no reason. You see, come to find out, Lacy was nowhere near the accident when it happened. You can see his car literally be the last vehicle at the scene, and it just goes around him. When a witness told the officer that the person who caused the accident was the woman, the officer led the witness and told him, "No, I need you to say that that charger is the one who caused the accident." Because of this situation, Lacy's draft stock dropped. People were attacking his family and him on social media, saying that he took the life of a veteran. And due to an altercation that he got the night before court, he thought he was going to jail for life and just decided to go to the Lord. The officers and investigators that framed him for this incident and forgot that body cams exist, they need to be charged. They need to be in jail as well. Give them the same amount of time Lacy would have got. Rest in peace to him.
This NFL prospect's career was destroyed and life was ended over a car crash that he wasn't even in. This is the story of star LSU wide receiver Kyren Lacy, and it's going to boil your blood. On December 17th, 2024, Kyren Lacy was involved in a fatal car accident that happened in Louisiana, which unfortunately took the life of 78-year-old Herman Hall in the crash. According to the police report, they determined that Lacy had recklessly passed multiple vehicles at a high rate of speed, crossing the center line in a no passing zone. The statement from the police said that a truck abruptly braked to avoid collision with Lacy and that the car behind the truck swerved to avoid Lacy, which in turn caused the accident. Here's a longer police report if you want to read it. The police then put out a warrant for his arrest, and on January 12th, 2025, Kyren turned himself in and was being booked on charges of hit and run, driving with serious injury or death, reckless operation with accident, and negligent homicide. And throughout the time of the investigation and the legal proceedings, Kyren and his lawyer both were adamant that he was not involved in this crash and he did not cause it. But the police and the media did not believe that the NFL prospect who was training for the draft was not involved. And still, Kyren was nothing but cooperative with the police, and he just wanted the truth to come out. But unfortunately, just 11 days before the 2025 NFL draft, Kyren got in an argument with one of his family members and led police on a very short pursuit where they found him deceased in the front of his car, taking his own life. And still nearly 6 months after he took his own life, Kyren's lawyer was still adamant to get the truth out there. And yesterday he proved that Kyren was completely innocent. The crash. This NFL prospect's career was destroyed and life, and they crucified.
I don't want to play this. All right, I'm not going to play the rest of this. So let's go to ESPN here. All right, so this is Louisiana State Police. Kyren Lacy's operation of car start-off events that caused fatal crash. Louisiana State Police released video and records on Tuesday related to a fatal crash in December 2024 they allege was caused by former LSU football player Kyren Lacy. Their investigation had come into question in recent days after a video was posted of an interview Lacy's attorney conducted with a Louisiana TV station that cast doubt on whether Lacy was responsible for the crash that killed 78-year-old Herman Hall in Chack Bay, Louisiana. So that would be the video there that it was sent to me on via TikTok there or Instagram. Since the incident occurred, the Louisiana State Police never reported the green Dodge Charger impacted any of the vehicles, the Louisiana Police Department said in their video released Tuesday. However, all evidence collected supports the conclusion that Lacy's reckless operation of the green Charger in oncoming traffic triggered the chain of events involving other drivers, ultimately resulting in the fatal crash. So let me just talk a little bit about these type of crashes, right? So there's different investigative units, crash, accident vehicle, however they're worded, accident vehicle reconstruction units, crash units that go along and they take forensic evidence from these particular scenes, including dash cam footage, gas station footage, any kind of footage, along with witness statements when they conduct these types of crashes. A lot of times what they do is they take these different they look at skid marks, yaw marks, YAW marks, and they reconstruct these accidents. They also look at the amount of damage that was done, and they also obviously witness statements. And this all goes on when they cause these what we call accident reconstruction scenes. So this is what they said, and this is what the process is and what they're doing in order to come to a determination as to what caused the crash. So can you be held responsible? This is the vital question. Can you, as a person on the highway, be responsible, held anyway liable and or responsible in this particular case? Think about this case. For your reckless driving, you're weaving in and out of traffic, you're braking, slowing, stopping, but yet other people are therefore driving cautiously, trying to evade you, swerving, braking, stopping to avoid you as the primary driver. In some cases, they would call you operator number one. The answer to that is yes. Of course, it's going to depend on state by state and how their laws were written. But in most cases, yeah, just because you didn't actually physically hit or strike or come in contact with another vehicle does not mean that you cannot be held liable if you are deemed to be driving so recklessly the other people have to slow down, stop, swerve. They're driving off the side of the road in order to avoid you. They crash with somebody else or crash into a pole. Yes, the initial operator or operator number one in this particular case, how it would be listed on the accident report, that person could be held liable. But again, they got to prove that, right? However, all evidence collected supports the conclusion that Lacy's reckless operation of the green Charger in oncoming traffic triggered a chain of events involving other drivers, ultimately resulting in the fatal crash. Lacy, 24, died April 12th in Houston of an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound in his car during a pursuit by authorities, according to Harris County Sheriff's report. An arrest warrant from January stated that Lacy was cited with felony negligent homicide and hit and run driving and misdemeanor reckless driving. The Lafourche uh, Parish District Attorney's Office had not formally charged Lacy and had been preparing to send the case to a grand jury for indictment on April 14th. So even though he had been charged, he had not, or maybe he had been arrested and he's got to go face these charges. They still needed a grand jury indictment in order to, and the grand jury indictment would have to say, yeah, after looking at all the evidence that the prosecutor would present, a grand jury would then say, yeah, there's enough evidence here, we think, to support the charges and to bring this Lacy and bring this any individual, in this particular case, Lacy, to trial. According to Lacy's attorney, Matthew Ory, in state police, around noon on December 17th, 2024, Lacy was driving southbound on Louisiana Highway 20 in a green Charger and was passing vehicles in the no passing zone just before a collision. Again, I'm just going off of what's written here and what the state police are saying. There's a whole big investigation that has to be conducted. And I'm assuming that Ory would hire his own forensic specialists, reconstruction specialists, and then do his own analysis and research, and again, provide video evidence supporting his opinion. And so again, if he's passing people and causing other people to swerve, slow down, stop, and all this type of stuff, and then that could be a precipitating event, thus leading to the crash. His car never collided with another car, or he did not respond to ESPN's request for a comment. So after the full investigation that it was released by LSP, Louisiana State Police, now Ory has not responded. In an arrest warrant affidavit dated January 8th, police said Lacy's 2023 Dodge Charger was traveling south at an extremely high rate of speed in a posted 40-mile-an-hour zone, passing 4 vehicles, including an 18-wheel truck with a trailer, on a highly congested road in Chack Bay. As Lacy's vehicle attempted to pass, it rapidly approached the northbound pickup truck. The affidavit said that the pickup truck driver took emergency action by braking and driving off the roadway to the right, coming to a controlled stop. Police said the driver behind the pickup steered left to avoid a head-on crash with the rapidly approaching Charger. That driver struck a southbound 2017 Kia Sorento, in which Hall was the passenger. In the compiled video narrative, police included a video of Lacy returning to the southbound lane as the Dodge Green Charger returns to the southbound lane. The narrative says aggressive braking and engine deceleration are immediately followed by a crash that can be heard on surveillance footage. So they can hear the aggressive braking and the engine going from a high revving to a low revving, right? Lacy passed the crash scene and continued along the highway. On police body cam footage, one witness said, in the green Charger caused all this. The witness faces were all blurred in the video. Police said they used 21 separate video cameras to capture the uninterrupted path of the Charger from the crash scene to a business 11 miles away. Police also said evidence support that less than 10 minutes after the crash, Lacy's first outgoing phone call was to a Baton Rouge area personal injury and defense attorney. No, that's not good. In an interview Ory conducted with a local TV station, he cited data. He said he received from an investigation by the Lafourche Parish District Attorney's Office. Ory said that although Lacy passed 4 vehicles in no passing zone prior to the crash, Lacy returned to the proper lane 92.3 yards before the accident. Enough time, he contended, to not trigger the collision. He showed video of Lacy's passing the crash scene post impact. Ory said the data from the crash investigation shows the truck that hit the vehicle that Hall was riding in was tailgating the pickup truck, and the woman swerved to the left to avoid hitting the truck when the vehicle braked. Ory said police originally issued the woman a citation for following too close, and later amended the ticket to one for crossing left of center. Ory also showed body cam footage that suggested an officer later coerced the pickup driver to testify that Lacy's green car caused the accident. In the video, the driver of the pickup truck states, "That lady in the back of me, she didn't know that lady in back of me, she didn't see what's happening. That's how she caused the wreck. The driver did not sign the witness statement," according to Ori. All right, so you can go over and read the rest of that. So let's look at the video here. This is the 11-minute, and we'll end this off here. We're going to look at the 11-minute video. This is the 11-minute video. By Louisiana State Police, and this is going to show us everything that we need to know here.
I'm Colonel Robert Hodges, Superintendent of Louisiana State Police. You're about to view a critical incident briefing video that is intended to give the community a better understanding of the incident that occurred. The video is inclusive of evidence related to the incident, which may include 911 calls, body-worn camera footage, and other relevant information. As this comprehensive investigation develops, our understanding of the incident may change as additional evidence is collected, analyzed, and reviewed. The department's ability to investigate these incidents relies on the impartial and transparent investigations, as well as considering the potential criminal responsibility of those involved.
On Tuesday, December 17, 2024, Louisiana State Police Troop C began investigating a fatal crash that occurred on LA 20 near Perez Lane and Chack Bay, located in Lafourche Parish. This investigative briefing has been prepared to provide clarification of the facts and an accurate depiction of the evidence in the moments leading up to the crash and the subsequent investigation. Due to differences in technology, the timestamps on the business surveillance footage may not align with actual time data recorded by Louisiana State Police based on recorded radio communications. According to the video timestamp, at 12:03 p.m. and 52 seconds, a green Dodge Charger is seen traveling south in the opposing lane on LA 20 at a high rate of speed, passing 3 passenger vehicles and 1 loaded 18-wheeler in a designated no passing zone with a 40-mile-per-hour posted speed limit. As the green Dodge Charger returns to the southbound lane, aggressive braking and engine deceleration are immediately followed by a crash that can be heard on the surveillance footage. According to the video timestamp, at 12:03 p.m. and 54 seconds, a portion of the crash can be seen as it occurs. Moments before the crash, the gold pickup truck abruptly veers out of the northbound lane into a business, while the green Charger is approaching in the same lane. Immediately.
Okay, so they're saying that the guys who apparently he's going south. There's a northbound vehicles are coming from the north, and they see this guy in the opposite lane, and therefore slammed on their brakes and then crashed. And then Lacy is then at this particular time getting back into his proper lane of traffic. Initially, the vehicle was given the other operator was given a ticket for following too close. So this is interesting here. So let's continue on.
After the crash occurred, the green Charger was observed on surveillance video and by witnesses traveling through the crash scene and continues north on LA 20, failing to stop. At the same time, all other vehicles remain at the scene to provide assistance. The briefing will now transition to the troopers' response and investigation. At 12 o'clock p.m., a 2-vehicle injury crash with road blockage was dispatched to Louisiana State Police Troop C via the 911 dispatch system. The responding trooper arrived on the scene at 12:07 p.m. and was immediately met by numerous witnesses who described a green Charger driving aggressively and causing the crash. The video has been edited for time purposes.
102, be advised, we got total road blockage on LA 20.
If you get a chance, can you advise code of injury?
Civil.
Let's take the turn and then you have to head over.
Did you see the green Charger flying that way? A green Charger going that way? No, the green Charger. That's the green Charger caused all this. SRT8, he caused all that. He went to pass the way back this way.
The green Charger collided with these cars.
He went right. He went around that truck. Okay. He was passing up with her right now, and she had no choice. She hits the road. She gets this.
How are the injuries? What
She got a broken ankle.
Complaining about back injuries and stuff like that. I was
So
on
2 back injuries, 1 broken ankle.
Yeah, I just told him not to move. You know what I'm saying?
You said something about green Charger. Who told you something about a green Charger?
I'm going to like this, sir.
Okay, so you saw it.
I saw it.
What did you see happen?
He went to pass him. I was like, he went to pass me in the car back there around around the curve. Right?
Okay.
All right. Hey, he come down, right? When he come down, I got he had his brother that he was taken to the emergency room, to the hospital or something like that, chemo or something like that.
All right.
But I got his number also to verify this because he was in a car that was in front of her. When that green Charger came, he went caused this whole big traffic, so everybody went to hitting brakes. The Charger, I thought he hit the gold truck head on. So he jammed on brakes. She was coming down. They was going that way. When I saw
which way was the Charger going? The Charger was going this way. Okay.
She was coming this way.
Okay.
They was going this way also. Mr. jammed on brakes. She went to dodge Mr. And that's when she came on.
I was like,
Right. So what they're saying is I'm having a hard time understanding these these southern accents here. But what he's saying is because this woman sees this guy in their center lane, because the vehicle crossed the center lane there, the no passing lane, double yellow line, the woman had to slam on her brakes and therefore lost control and kind of spun into this guy. That's essentially what he's saying.
On the left side. Come over and hit him.
Which 18 wheel were you driving?
The rebel.
Okay. So the Charger, I guess, passed you up.
The Charger behind. It was cars behind me because I'm taking my time.
And the Charger was passing all these cars in this
everybody.
lane. And so almost hit this one head on.
No, he almost hit it was a gold truck. I got his number right here. That's why I think his number in his name.
Almost hit the gold truck head on.
Yeah, that's his number and phone number and name.
So the gold truck, what did the gold truck do?
The gold truck in his area right here.
The gold truck slams on
brakes to stop the Charger. The Charger swerves back in.
Okay.
Because somebody else, whoever was behind them.
Okay.
But then they slammed on. They was on. No, the Charger. He swerved in front of them. They slammed on brakes, and by this time, he slips through. Right.
Okay.
As he slips through, she's coming. She like to round the back of the gold truck. That's what
she almost hit the back of Miss.
Yeah.
Was Miss truck hit?
No. He was missed.
Okay. So
I gotta be honest, I'm not following. I'm not understanding what this guy's saying.
The truck, Mr. He slammed on his.
No, it's right up. The gold truck is right up there.
Right. Yeah. He slams on his brakes to avoid the Charger.
Yeah.
This car, what?
Goes that car off, if I'm not mistaken.
So what is this car? It just swerves out the way to avoid.
So I was watching it too.
She turned the wrong way. Instead of going towards the post, she turned this way.
Yeah. Okay, so she turned this way, and then this car was just coming.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
And then Charger came around. That's the number for it. It was in the gold truck.
Okay.
Charger stopped. That's a good because he was using it, but you know.
Okay.
And to see what happened, the Charger had stopped.
Is a green Charger?
Yeah. But then when he seen what happened, he almost hit me because he came right here. He kept going. He's the only one that jumped out of the trailer. Everybody else turned around the other way. He jumped out of the trailer, eased through here and ran down the road.
Okay. Okay. Look, I know it's hurting right now, but do you think you could just tell me briefly what happened?
This dude's accent is killing me.
Or do you remember?
I just know the truck was stopping on brakes. The other car was trying to pass the other car. I was trying to dodge, but not hitting them by coming around.
Okay. Do you remember how fast you were going?
The speed limit.
Okay. Thank you.
While on scene, the investigating trooper obtained written and recorded statements. The trooper also spoke with additional witnesses via phone and ultimately obtained written statements later in the investigation. After the crash, the passenger in the Kia Sorento died. As part of the continued investigation, the investigating trooper made contact with the driver of the gold truck at a later date to obtain an official written statement based on previous conversations. Troopers also received an additional witness statement describing the erratic driving behavior of the green Charger 10 minutes before the crash. Following the on-scene investigation, troopers identified the green Charger as a vehicle of interest and utilized 21 separate surveillance video cameras to capture the uninterrupted path of the green Charger from the crash scene to its Thibodeau business 11 miles away. Through the use of investigative tools, troopers were able to obtain the license plate number of the green Charger on December 19, 2024. On December 26, 2024, troopers determined that Kyren Lacy was the driver of the green Charger at the time of the crash. Just prior to the crash, Lacy was illegally in the opposing lane, passing southbound vehicles. The gold truck traveling north veered right to avoid a head-on collision with the green Charger. As the gold truck veered right, the driver of the Kia Cadenza saw the approaching green Charger. In reaction, the Kia Cadenza driver swerved left into the southbound lane and impacted a northbound Kia Sorento. Through the investigation, troopers determined that the driver of the gold truck reacted appropriately to avoid a head-on collision with the green Charger, which was approaching at a high rate of speed. In consideration of the high speed of the green Charger compared to the surrounding and opposing vehicles, the reaction time of the involved drivers was greatly diminished. Since the incident occurred, the Louisiana State Police never reported.
That's another thing too, that they had to take a look at the reaction times. You have 0.3 seconds to there's reaction time, response time. I'm not going to get into all that, but there's so you have a certain amount of time to see a threat, perceive a threat, and for your brain to say, your brain has to take in the information and say, here's a threat. How much time is it going to take now to activate your muscles to either swerve or to apply brakes? And all that is response and reaction times. And so what needs to happen is that you don't have that much time. So even though they talked about him being 100 yards away, how much speed is distance over time, right? So 100 miles an hour, 0.3 seconds to make this 93 or so feet away, 93 yards or so away, speed over time, distance, right? Do they do all these calculations and determine how much time they have, reaction time they have to make a response? And so that's where all this comes in at. And so after determining all that, this is how and why they were able to seek for an arrest warrant. Again, they had to go to a grand jury, but this is all the formulations and calculations that they do. And this is probably why the Ori's analysis that he gave to the radio station is just falling flat, according to this new video. And of course, when it goes to court, there will be a longer detailed explanation as to all this, and they will bring in experts who will talk about reaction time, response time, and give a detailed breakdown as to whether the actions by the other driver was appropriate. These are all averages, etc.
That the green Charger impacted any of the involved vehicles. However, all evidence collected supports the conclusion that Lacy's reckless operation of the green Charger in oncoming traffic triggered the chain of events involving the other drivers, ultimately resulting in the fatal crash. Additionally, troopers determined that less than 10 minutes after the crash occurred, evidence supports that Lacy's first outgoing phone call was to a Baton Rouge area personal injury and defense attorney. After consultation with the Lafourche Parish District Attorney's Office on January 2nd, 2025, an arrest warrant was signed on January 8th, 2025 through the 17th Judicial Court for Kyren Lacy. In coordination with his attorney, Lacy was arrested on January 12th, 2025 at the Lafourche Parish Correctional Center. The driver of the Kia Cadenza was initially issued a citation for following too close, which was later amended to driving left of center. This incident resulted in numerous injuries and loss of life. All involved victims deserve a thorough and complete investigation based on all available factual evidence. Additional investigative reports and videos can be utilized through the trending topics link on the GovQA platform.
Okay, so that's that. So listen, there's these types of investigations never really end. So they're still going to be looking into it and making sure that they've done all the analysis, and they're going to obviously continue to speak with witnesses, and if anybody else has any more information, that will be forwarded to them. It's a tragic incident. But what I want people to learn, given that all this is correct. Again, I don't have the full investigation in front of me, but this is all the things that go into this. So what can you learn? You have to drive safely. You have to drive in the proper lane. And this is why we have rules, regulations, and this is why we do what we do. And this, if you're traveling too fast for conditions, if you're traveling left of center, you're passing people when you shouldn't be, you're braking, you're driving drunk, you're driving under the influence, all these different things. This is what causes all this type of thing. So I feel for the family of both families, the veterans family, as well as Lacy's family. And again, if he was, as the initial video that I played, bullied because of in social media, then that's a regrettable circumstance. However, we have to be in a place where we act appropriately, accordingly, and all that. So somebody asked me my opinion to cover this story. Again, I don't have all, I get paid to do this, so I'm not going to do a deep dive into it. But I do want you to learn something from this. And you have to drive safely. You have to, yes, lawyer up, be careful what you say to police at these particular times. I understand that there's other videos of him being coerced to sign things and along all that. I get that. I'm not going to address all that. So that's something that the lawyer will have to look into. And I'm just going off of this information right here. Again, I feel for the family. People have their lives in front of them, and just be careful out there and just do the best you can, and drive safely. And have your head on a swivel. You cannot, text and drive, drink and drive, all these different types of distractions. And if you're acting erratically, bad things are going to happen. So let me know your thoughts and your opinions. And man, this is really a bad story. Much love and peace.